Hello everyone, this is Kaifu here with game 1 in the series between yours truly and William. With William on my right side is playing Reflect Refrain Alice-Bow, while yours truly on the left side is playing Reflect Refrain Sacred Beast. Now Sacred Beast is just a very power play type of deck, just getting a Hula on the field ASAP. When you get the Hula on the field is pretty much a huge +7 on top of that. Think of it this way, you drop Hula with 4 different colors on top of it, you get 4 Sacred Beasts, so that's a total +4. Then you get the effect of by drawing a card, bouncing a card, and burning a card off the field. That's a total of +3 more, so total technically a +7. So once you get on the field, you have a whole field with a Sacred Beast, let me say that, you have a whole field with a bunch of Sacred Beasts, and it really intimidates your opponent to the point that, how can I get around those Sacred Beasts, because they can kill all those Sacred Beasts if they wanted, but I got those for free, so pretty much they can kill all they want, but I gained the advantage already, so it doesn't really matter at this point. While on the right side, we do have William playing Alice-Bow, which does the same thing by dropping a lot of wires, like pretty much intimidating the opponent that if I have more resident than you, I win pretty much. So let's get back to the game itself. Currently, life point wise 4,000 compared to 4,000. Field wise, with a Gretel compared to Change the Will. I did whirlwind the Cheshire Cat because I do not want it to be an incarnation fodder, and allows William to draw more cards, so meaning drawing more answers against my Sacred Beast, so it does not good at all, so that's the reason why. Let's see now. He has 2 rules memorial, so with Change the Will in play, he won't be able to tap. So those rules memorial will not come in tap at all. So he does drop the Morgiana, so Morgiana will allow him to see through his deck a bit better, so digging through the deck a bit deeper as well, so getting key answers needed. Drop a Familiar Holy Wind, which allows him to draw 1 card, but however, with Morgiana in play, check top tape 3 instead and put 1 in hand. So at the moment, he's trying to dig for answers, but I'm not quite sure what he's trying to dig at the moment because he is currently tapped out, so probably setting up for power play in the following turn. So for me, I'm like, well, he's setting up some kind of big play at the moment because he can't really do much against me, and he knows for the fact that if I drop my Hulong, it's pretty much going to be a very tough situation for him at the moment. But at the moment, I cannot Hulong him at the moment because I only have 4 resources to play with, and I do have Hulong in hand, and I do have the requirement to set up Hulong on the battlefield. So I'm going to drop more Gretels to ramp a bit quicker, because the more resources I have, the better I have against my opponent, because my opponent is trying to drop Wybers with minimum Magic Stone. So pretty much if I have more Magic Stone than him and I have a bigger field than he does, then he's in a lot of trouble. He has to do a lot of catching up with Magic Stone wise if he's going to play that strategy with the 2 Magic Stone strategy at the moment. But instead, he's tapping for another Magic Stone, which does allow him to gain more resources to play with, and then dropping Cheshire Cat, which does allow him to filter a bit more, so get through the deck a lot faster, getting the key cards he needs and so on. So you have to be very careful, but however, I do have Hydro Monica in place, so Hydro Monica will allow me to search for any key answer I need against my opponent. A lot of people do not use Hydro Monica in outside of Xion. Xion is a very good ruler obviously, but the Hydro Monica is very powerful itself, with the ability paying 2 resources, tutor for any kind and put on top of the deck. And my opponent is going all out at the moment, so doing a lot of power plays at the moment, and I know for the fact that he's going to overwhelm me. So I'm going to take this opportunity later on, lay my Hydro Monica on the field. If I see the appropriate time to use it, then I'll use it. He's incarnating his Cheshire Cat and Familiar Holy Wind to drop the Adam Rolly, so pretty much getting those power play as I said before. He's trying to settle those plays and trying to intimidate. At the moment, he does have more resident than I am, so pretty much he can just try to one-shot me if he really wants to. Again, both players still on 4,000 life point each, so at the moment, William is going for that powerful play that all Alice always plays, trying to get those hand advantage, trying to get those field advantage as well. He also has changed the world, so which does stock up his counter, so he can tutor for cards later on and gain more counters for cancelling spell, bouncing cards back and so on, which is quite annoying, but so far it's okay, not too scary. Using Adam Roll to draw a card, which triggers, well doesn't trigger but activates Morgiana's ability, which does allow him to check top 3 instead. So giving him a lot of opportunity to add key cards in the add-on at the moment. So let's see now. So he's got Call White and Calling Wyber on the battlefield, and Wyber does give him the ability to attack him directly next turn with 12-12 flying in the air, and drops another Change the Will in place, so gaining more counters again. Using Reflect Refrain's ability again, checking top 3 and so on. So yeah, not looking too good at the moment for me, but I seem to have a lot of confidence at the moment because I do have a Hydromonic in place, so meaning that whatever it does, I can just search for my answer out. He does drop a Cheshire Cat, so Cheshire Cat does allow him to shoot a bit more, getting better answers that he needs. So I do allow because I don't have anything to stop it from happening. Obviously, Yoris on my hand with a Feasting and what's his name? The Tiger and also the Hulong hand. It can't really do much at this time, but however, it does give me the opportunity, as I said before, use Hydromonica instead of dropping Feasting. A lot of people, what they do is they drop Feasting and then hope for the best, but in this current situation, you do not really want to drop the Feasting, because by dropping Feasting, you are allowing your opponent to attack with Wyvern next turn. So you'd rather save the Feasting for next turn. So during my draw phase, I'm going to draw for turn and activate Hydromonica's ability before the recover phase. So I'm going to draw into Sign into Future instead. So now what people will be asking, why would you want to do it before your recover phase? Because I do have Reflect Refrain's ability to draw a card and put one card back to the bottom, so it will guarantee me not draw into any Sacred Beast, because in this type of deck, you do not want to draw into Sacred Beast. You want to put it back in the bottom of the deck, so you want to have ways to call out your Sacred Beast a bit easier now. So then I do use Reflect Refrain's ability, drawing to my Sign into Future, which I did search for from the Hydromonica, so now I have a way to deal with those Wyverns. Now I do activate it right away because in case he somehow has a cancel spell for next turn and he's tapped out at the moment, so I'm taking this opportunity to take out his field. I do take out the Wyvern and the Morgiana, and people will be like, why not take out the Adam Broly? Because Adam Broly is not a problem at the moment for me, because Adam Broly is just 6-8 vanilla. So however, Morgiana does allow him to tutor for more answer, dig deep into his deck to get answer against me. So taking the one that gives me extra advantage is the key one. So that's why I took that. And not only that, I still have Feasting my hand to flash in because I do have Elvish Priest and 2 Magic Stone open, so if he's trying to do some kind of crazy power play to push for massive amount of damage, I can prevent it from happening. Not only that, I still have 2 Greatles to block with as well. So at the moment, field-wise, Adam Broly, Familiar Holy Wind, Cheshire Cat, and 3 Change the Will compared to 1 Reflect Refrain on the battlefield with 4 counters, 2 Greatles, and 1 Elvish Priest. So at the moment, I still have a lot more Magic Stone than my opponent, so I can do a bit more power plays than my opponent, as I said before. Not only that, I did remove his biggest threat, which is Squibber, so pretty much he only has a couple of Squibers left in his deck. If he doesn't draw in anytime soon, he can't really do much against me. I do drop the Feasting, prevent any damage from dealt by Adam Broly, because at this point in time, I don't think my opponent can do anything at the moment. If he drops a Wyvern on me, he drops a Wyvern on me, but at this time in time, I still have ways to get around it, because I have Reflect Refrain to bounce it back, I have Reflect Refrain to search for Sign to the Future, I have ways to deal with Wyverns at the moment, because now all I have in my hands is a Hulong, and Hulong will allow me to get those power plays going to bounce a card, burn a card off the field, draw a card, and heal life, so putting myself in a stronger position that I need to be. But at the moment, my opponent, William, is trying to dig for answers at the moment. He only has a couple cards in hand because obviously his Wyvern plays was his best shot, but however, since I removed that, he actually has to change his strategy somehow. Now, I didn't flip back my J-Ruler back to my Ruler form, because I know for the fact that in Swiss, I did burst against him in Swiss, and I did notice that he played Law Silent, so I'm going to keep my Reflect Refrain just in case he does Law Silent me, so I don't want him to Law Silent me, so I can't play my Hulong. Then I do play my Hulong and I'm asking my opponent for respawn if he has a cancel spell. If he does, I'll cancel with my own cancel spell, which is my Reflect Refrain's ability. So he does allow it, so it does resolve. So now I get my Tiger, my Turtle, my Rooster, not my Rooster, my Phoenix, and my Dragon on the battlefield, and trigger all the into ability and gain a +7. So obviously, right off the bat, I get a +4 with the Sacred Beast, and then get that total of +3 more, drawing card, burning card to the field, and bouncing card back to the opponent's hand. Now I know that bouncing a card back is not a +1, but it's actually removing field presence, so meaning that he has to cast it again once more. So using draw and target bouncing the Familiar Holy Wind, because I do not want to bounce back to Adam Broly, because Adam Broly will give him a bit more advantage than Familiar Holy Wind. So I'm going to get rid of the Adam Broly if possible, but he decided to bounce it back to his hand, so meaning he wanted Adam Broly anyway for next turn. So I do burn off the card of the field, and I was swinging for aggressive play with the Phoenix for 400 point damage. which successfully does go through, so meaning I'm safe. Attack with Riddle directly for a minor aggressive play, so try and push his life down to very low within range for my Sacred Beast to kill him. So at this point in time, my field is a bit bigger than my opponent, so he only has a chest can and free change the will, while I have a Reflect Refrain with 4 counters, 1 Hulong, 1 Dragon, 1 Turtle, 1 Tiger, 1 Phoenix, 2 Grettles, and 1 Elvish Priest, and 1 Feasting. So at this point in time, and I'm still in a strong advantage. He does have a bit more cards than me in my hand. I only have 2 cards in hand, and he has a bit more than I do, obviously. But however, the field present is overwhelming at him at the moment, and I do have target attack on my target. So meaning, what does that mean? It means that I can target attack anything I want that is blocking my Hulong first. So currently, life point wise, 4,800 compared to 3,200 life point. He's playing with the free magic stone at the moment. He's trying to gain back control if possible. He does have a lot of cards in hand, like I said before, but he's not getting a lot of way to get around my field because at this point in time, Interdimensional Escape is not out at the moment, so pretty much he has no way to nuke my field. And even if he does, I still have the ability to counter it anyway with Reflect Refrain's ability. Incarnating into Adam Broly will allow him to tutor for a card, well not tutor, draw a card and produce any color he needs. So he's trying to get back that field present he needs to defend himself, because next turn it will be pretty much lethal enough for game, because like with Hulong, the dragons, with the turtle and tiger and phoenix and Grettles attacking, that will be more than enough to game for game from this range. So yeah, and not only that, if he's trying to do any like removing my field and so on, I still have Reflect Refrain on the battlefield to counter it really easily with 4 counters in hand. Not 4 counters in hand, 4 counters onto the card. So let's see now. So my opponent is thinking about his play at the moment. His field is very small at the moment, just with a Adam Broly in play. That's the only card he can defend against my massive attack. So I'm not sure what he can do at the moment. He does have a Law Silent in hand, like I said before. I did verse again in Swiss, and obviously that I know the Law Silent will be coming, so I do have Reflect Refrain on the battlefield just in case he tries to silent me. He only has 2 Magic Stone to play with at the moment, so I'm not sure where he can play with 2 Magic Stone. Again, he can only Law Silent me at most, and he's thinking what he can do. So yeah, the field is very overwhelming for my opponent at the moment, with a lot of Sacred Beasts, one with target attack and just instantly KO the Adam Broly with the Tiger getting pumped by the Dragon, because I still have 1 Magic Stone open, meaning that I can actually, you know, use Queen Long's ability to pump all my Sacred Beasts +2/+2, so pretty much hitting a bit hard and so on. William does decide to J-activate to his Reflect Refrain with 11 counters onto it, and he does have free change the will in play, so he can pretty much bounce my whole field. But again, bouncing my field is not ideal because I can trigger my Enter ability once more to gain a lot of advantage. He tried Law Silent me, but again I will just cancel it with Reflect Refrain, because I know for the fact that if he bounced my field back, I need some way to put back on the battlefield and gain those benefits against more. So let's see now. I'm going for the aggressive play now. He's currently tapped out with a Magic Stone, but he still have Reflect Refrain to do stuff to me. So he bounced back my Tiger when I target attack the Adam Broly, because I want to get it out of the way so I can attack directly. I attacked directly with the Hulong, and surprisingly he didn't block with it, so pretty much showing that he wants the Adam Broly in play to defend him. So I'm attacking for 800 directly and forcing him to block. If not, that I'm going to force him to waste all those counters on Reflect Refrain, bouncing my field back. And even if he bounced my field back, I'm still not losing any advantage at all, because I can trigger my Enter ability once more to gain those benefits. He bounced my Dragon back, and obviously by bouncing my Dragon back, he's trying to prolong the game. So now I'm going to attack with my little ones. So I'm attacking with my Gretel first, see if he's trying to do anything. If not, then he's going to take the damage. Taking 200 point damage, again attacking Gretel, and he's going to take this one as well, which does put him down to 1,500 compared to my 4,800 life point. I still have the Phoenix and Turtle to attack with, and they're still getting the pump from the Queen Long, so pretty much swinging for 700 at the moment, because the effect still lasts until end of the turn. So even if he blocks with the Adam Broly, he's not killing my turtle at all, because my turtle is currently sitting on 7-9, and he's only 6-8 at the moment. He does take it, so which does put him down to 800 life point. So at this point in time, I'm going to drop my Queen Long. Queen Long will allow me to draw a card, but the drawing card doesn't really matter at this point, because I want to use my Queen Long's ability to pump my Sacred Beast once more, attack for 800, because this is a new Resonator, so pretty much it's not the same one. And he's bouncing my my Phoenix back to my hand, so pretty much he doesn't want me to attack very through. but I still have Feasting in place, so Feasting will allow me to get the color I need. So I'll drop the Phoenix, burn 600 there, and attack directly for 800 because the duration still lasts until end of turn. The +4/+4 still matters, so pretty much this will be for going for game if he's trying to do anything. It's currently tapped out on counters, and bounce back is down the road for game. So that's the game, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for this, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for game 2.